Afternoon. How are we all doing? Monday afternoon. Another day, another dollar. How are we doing, Ian? Novelty, Fletch, JC, Crom, Julio. December, it's time. Kennelly, Mubo, Gregors, Taboho. Had to look at that one for a while. Virginia, Yoko, afternoon, outro. How are we doing? Brian, Monday. It is definitely Monday. Haven't banked anything today. Nothing's moving. Well, stuff is moving, just nothing that I'm in. So just sitting here basically watching this change from about 0.3 to 0.75 to 0.3 to 0.75, flip-flop. Nothing's happening on the yen. Nothing's happening on the euro pound. So nothing exciting. Afternoon, Shipcat. Shipcat. Had to be careful there. Shipcat. You'd easily say that wrong, couldn't you? Let's see if I can get the US 30 to work this time. Let's hope so. EuroCAD. Yeah, that's moving. Come out to resistance. We'll have a look at the some of the FX pairs in a minute. I went through all the FX pairs this morning in detail, so I'm not going to go through everything again this afternoon. If you want to have a look at an analysis of all FX pairs, watch this morning's live room. But to be honest, there's not a lot going on. So RSIs, we've got 3 4-hour RSIs lit up now. We've got 3 ADRs today. Yeah, nothing particularly exciting. Afternoon, Dion, Sarah. Right, so just quick recap. News-wise, there's no news today. We've had the news this morning, which was the CPI for the Swissy. Didn't really do a lot. Came out as 0, which is obviously it's positive from the respect that the inflation has come down, but tends to be negative for the currency. Hasn't really done much, so nothing really to report there. We've got CPI for Japan coming out tonight. And then tomorrow, there's no news, basically. So first news we've got this week is CPI, first proper news that's potentially going to have some impact. That didn't. So is the Aussie dollar on Wednesday morning. We've got Bailey speaking Wednesday afternoon. We haven't heard from Bailey for a while. So there may be some clues as to when interest rates are going to change. So we might get a bias change on the pound. But 130 is the main news this week on Thursday, which is CPI for the US dollar and unemployment. And then obviously we go into PPI figures on Friday. So that's the news. There's no news this morning. Nothing exciting at all happened this morning. Total crap. So nothing to report there. DAX and FTSE this morning, really quick, easy money, really simple trades this morning, banked about 350-ish, something like that. So pre-market range, break, target, done, out on the second part on the pullback. And the FTSE, same story, pre-market, break, high, straight up to target in the first 5 minutes on the initial cash balance. Then we sat sideways forever, and then it did this silly little blip. So out of both of them, with half the position at target, second half break even. Excuse me. It's been that boring this morning. So yeah, banked about 1.7% on that this morning. So that was the DAX and the FTSE. Nothing's banked on FX. The ADRs today, Aussie dollar yen. So we've had a push down on the Aussie dollar yen. All the yen pairs have pushed a little bit today. So we're down on everything against the yen. So a little bit of a strength coming through on that yen today. Nothing particularly exciting, but a little bit more strong than weak. So Aussie dollar yen, ADR hit to the downside. It's been going sideways since the 19th of December. So just before Christmas. We haven't gone anywhere. We're bang in the middle of this range. So that could go absolutely anywhere. But it's an ADR hit to the downside. So look for market reversal alerts long on the 5-minute. Or potentially a long entry, which is just about to trigger. Just about to trigger. Long. Euro odd, that is still going. So that's hit ADR. You had a reversal alert on this. So there's ADR. You had a reversal alert on that candle, which looked like it was going to go into an M pattern reversal, but basically it's invalidated. So we've got a second M pattern going in. You're just about to get a reversal alert on that 125 ADR. So entry will be there when you get the reversal alert. First entry was there this morning. So we'll see if those sellers can take advantage of that. That's nicely extended. Euro's been moving nicely. We're just coming up into that monthly level, which is a really old monthly level. But we've got this high here, potentially, and that propulsion gap. So this area here, we know we've had some decent selling out of. That accumulation, which tried to break long, failed. Sellers stepped in and added there. So 150 ADR today, you got a nice propulsion gap. And obviously just before 150 ADR, you've got potential resistance coming up. So if it doesn't go from there down into these propulsion gaps, we'll be pushing up into there and then obviously come down from that afterwards. 2 minutes to the open. And Euro New Zealand, that's ADR hit to the upside. That's rejecting nicely out of the propulsion move. So again, this is absolutely sideways. We've gone from a range there to a contracted range there. It's just breaking out. So there's a potential we're going to push up into 225 ADR into that propulsion gap and then come down from there. But it might just come back down into the range from there. So there's a good opportunity there. So again, drop down M5. Wait for the reversal alert, which is going on my chart. Will be literally about to trigger. And again, ADR, you had a trigger there, short, that just about invalidated and then pushed up. So it's pretty much the same. Euro New Zealand and Euro odd are pretty much the same thing because the Aussie and the New Zealand moved together during the London and New York session. So that's the Euro against both of the Australian pairs. RSIs we'll look at in a second. So we'll see how we get on with the US indices this afternoon. Bit of pushing on the US indices. There we go. Markets open. Oh, long NASDAQ already. That was quick. Long NASDAQ and long S&P. Blimey. Good volume coming there. So I was just going to say, there's a decent amount of movement to the upside today. Back up into ADR, which is the previous day's high. Downside, we're looking at ADR low. So it's ADR high, yesterday's high, or Friday's high, and ADR low is Friday's low on the NASDAQ. We've already tested on the Dow today, the low from Friday, and that's rejected. Upside, you've got loads of room, 150 ADR to the upside. Apart from that, you've got this area here, which is potentially supportive, which is basically just above where TP1 would be. Broken long on the Dow as well. And the S&P, very zoomed in. Very similar today. ADR low is yesterday or Friday's low. ADR high is Friday's high because we put in basically an ADR on Friday with the news. So upside, looking at that area and that area. And the Dow is a little bit different. We've already retested the lows, so we'll see where we go. But we've broken long on both at the moment. All three, actually, broken long. Let's catch up on the chat. Afternoon, Baggy, Day Trader, Mark, Mumo, banked Aussie dollar yen and euro odd shorts. Well done. Brian, there's pairs. There's got to be something going on. Not a lot. Insert 28. All right. I was going to say, that didn't make sense. There's pairs. Yeah, there's 28 pairs. There's got to be something going on. There is something going on. Just not any setups for me. We've got some ADRs to look at anyway, which we've done the ADRs. So we'll look at the RSIs in a minute, but we're still very range bound on everything at the moment. When you look at it long term, we are just range bound. We've got varying levels of range, but everything is very range bound at the moment. Okay, NASDAQ 1R and S&P 1R to the upside. Dow, very, very whippy. Very whippy. Lots of volume coming in today, which is good. NASDAQ, I'm just going to move target on the NASDAQ down, just within ADR. So that's just under 2R to the upside because I'm worried about limit orders triggering here. If you look at the previous day on Thursday last week, we pushed up into that area, rejected, broke away, tested it again, rejected it again. News, tested it, rejected it again. So we know there are a lot of sellers there. So if we get back to there today, I would expect a pushback from the sellers this morning or this afternoon when we get there. So I'm just going to move my target down within that range because obviously target was just outside that area. I could close it out manually there, but I'd rather just get the TP hit if it gets there. S&P got a little bit more room to move on the S&P. So, but obviously if the Dow gets there and they slam that with a load of limit orders, the S&P is not going to get there. It's just going to get turned around with the Dow. So, with the NASDAQ. So we'll see. But so far, buyers trying very hard to go long, but struggling a little bit today. Dow's got absolutely no clue where it's going today. Trying very, very hard. So we've tapped into that pre-market high. Well, it's not the pre-market high, actually. The pre-market high is all the way up there on the Dow. Got the open time wrong on this, haven't I? I want to change that. I haven't changed this since I changed broker. I need to change that. Same on the other indices as well. Probably is, isn't it? Yeah, I need to change that. Different broker. This is set up from when I was trading on Robo. Market open time is reported different. Okay, Dow's just broken out the highs, back up into that previous high just before the market opened. Finding a little bit more resistance up there again. S&P and the NASDAQ trying very hard to go long. We'll give it another couple of minutes, see if I can get a target hit on one of these, and then we'll go and have a look at the FX side of things. Afternoon, Amy. Outro. Why won't my Dow trade? I have no idea why your Dow won't trade. Pass. I've no idea. It's no different to anything else. Worked on the S&P, but not on the Dow. No idea. Have you got ADR? Is it giving you an ADR reading? And is it about 28.5 points? If so, should trade. If not, no idea. Johnny, bought the stock index Hedge EA yesterday. First day running it after testing last night. Cool. Good man. Good luck. Afternoon, Peter. Mumo. What's your percent risk and trade lot size on the S&P? I'm risking 0.25%. So 0.5%, basically, because there's two trades. This is struggling here. And I don't like the Dow, the fact that the Dow is rejecting at this high. So I'm just getting ready to close out the NASDAQ with a little bit of profit. just in case we flip and hedge, because I don't really want to get hedged on everything. There we go, pushing a little bit now. Bit of strength coming through now on the Dow, on the NASDAQ rather. So watch this level on the NAS. This is ADR. So we're approaching limit orders at Friday's high. Really struggling to get there. That Dow is not wanting to go long at the moment at all. So I'm just trying to get onto a class. Password. I'm on the waiting list for a class. I forgot to book last week. It's really annoying. My gym, you can only book a week in advance. So we have to book next Monday today. And because obviously last Monday was New Year's Day, I wasn't up and I forgot to book classes. So everything's fully booked. So I'm on the waiting list, and every now and again you get this message saying, hey, space has come up, but then so does everybody else. So unless you jump on it within seconds, you don't get it. NASDAQ's really struggling. That Dow has just put a new lower low in. The S&P's struggling as well at these highs. So buyers are really finding it tricky here. I'm going to give it 30 seconds. And if that NASDAQ hasn't hit target, I'm closing it. Go on. You can do it. Thank you. There we go. NASDAQ target hit. Okay, so watch this level. Potential resistance. If it breaks through, we're at ADR. So we've done our daily range already. So if it does break through that level, there's not going to be a huge amount of buyers left, because obviously we've been rallying all morning. So it might struggle to get momentum today. Going through quite nicely now, though. There we go. Nice breakout. S&P still struggling to go high on the S&P. NASDAQ's done though. So we'll trail that on the NAS. So I'm just doing maths in my head. Really hard. I think 350 this morning. I'm just looking at 354, 5, 6, 450. I think this is going to get hedged. I'm closing the NASDAQ. I've hedged on the Dow. What I want is this NASDAQ to pay for the Dow. And then we'll see if the S&P can push up into resistance. But with the fact that we've hit ADR on the NASDAQ, we're hitting resistance on the NASDAQ, which is 2-day resistance. That's a double top on the daily and ADR. I get the feeling we're going to struggle to go long today. If that's going to come back down from there, the S&P is going to get dragged down with it. So that pays for that. And then I can deal with the hedge on that. I just want to get that banked rather than let it run away just in case this does come back down. So I've got 350 to protect from this morning. So I don't want to take too much risk on. Right. EuroCAD ADR. ADR hit on the EuroCAD as well now. So another one there on this Euro. So Euro running nicely today. Obviously the Swiss franc moves with the Euro. So that's a nice little run going on the EuroCAD. Again, we're coming back up into double top at ADR. in a propulsion gap, which we sold from. So the fact that we've sold out of that, just hit a support and then bounced straight back up into it, means obviously these sellers weren't able to get a break to the downside. So this might not hold. So we'll be looking for a retest of that 125, 130 level on the Euro CAD. If that fails, we're looking up at this area, which is this propulsion gap here that we just sold out of. And then we're coming back up to the origin of the move up there. So watch 150. That would be a better entry today. 150 ADR. Failing that, 200 ADR. We're not going to get there today. But up to there, if we're going to hold this range, that would be where you'd be looking to sell from. So, but there is an opportunity to go short there as well now. 5-minute reversal alert. It's going to be down there. So you got about 20 pips for a move down there. So that's a nice hit to the upside. And we'll look at the RSIs. There you go. So a bit of rejection coming in on that NASDAQ now. Limit orders triggering at those highs, pushing the price back down. Dow's broken to the downside. S&P back to entry. So on the Dow, if we are going to reject, so we've got this propulsion move here, which we've rejected once already. This is the second rejection today. If that is going to reject and we're going to break that low, we'll be looking to come down into this area here. Okay, so that, it's not really a propulsion gap because it's part of that big move there. But it is a nice area we retested twice and pushed away from. We came back down, we tested it again, tested it again, tested it again, tested it again. So very good, strong level. This is 125 ADR. So if we can get pushed down to there, because I'm hedged, obviously. So if we can get pushed down to there, I'll look to exit on an aggressive 125 ADR. Upside, yeah, ADR's fine to the upside. It could push up into that yesterday's high. It's going to have to go some to get there, though, isn't it, really? All the indices are struggling to go long today at the moment. So NASDAQ's pushing again, though, now. S&P looks like this propulsion move is holding. So this is accumulation. This is the initial cash balance break. Looks like it's holding, so we might have some speculative longs in there. We'll see. The Dow really stuck. NASDAQ pushing nicely. Look, shouldn't have got out of that one. But still got the S&P on, and that will go with an AS. So, right, let's quickly look at these ADRs. Sorry, RSIs. So there's no hourlies yet today. Aussie dollar Swiss is getting closer to extending. Apart from that, there's nothing else in danger of getting an extension today. So it's all 4 hours today. Pound odd. Nice rejection of the 72 potentially here. So we've had this really big, strong push all of last week. No profit take moves on that at all. So potentially we're going to start to hit resistance here. Yeah. And then start to sell back down from that level. So if this is going to hold and this structure here that we broke down from and retested is going to hold, this should be where we sort of put the next leg in and drop from. So we've got Bailey speaking on Wednesday. So that is potentially when we're going to get a little bit of news catalyst for this one, which will be Wednesday afternoon. So if we can hold this level until Wednesday, just flip-flop around here for a bit, there's potential for Bailey to rally or drop the the pound. And if it drops, obviously the pound will be coming down. So any talk from Bailey of interest rates coming down faster than expected will drop the pound. Any talk about interest rates, we're not sure. Inflation seems stubbornly high, that sort of stuff. We're not sure when we're going to move interest rates down. We haven't ruled out another increase. Anything like that, it's going to be bullish pound and it's going to rally it. So that will decide on Wednesday whether or not we're coming up to retest these highs or whether we're going to start a new leg down. But at the moment, RSI extended. Nice divergence. Got divergence on the RSI. RSI levels dropping. Price is pushing. So that's bearish divergence. So all looking good there for a short. Not quite extended enough for me. Actually, I mean, 80 level is the ultimate on the 4 hour, but 75 on the 4 hour is not a bad level to take from. Pound CAD also extended. Big, strong push up there. We're pushing back up into this sort of area here. This is a 61.8 retracement. So we've got a high, low, lower high, lower low, looking for a lower high to go in if we're going to continue the down leg and shift back to a bearish structure. So potentially that propulsion gap is a good target to the downside just in case it pulls back and rallies. So that's extended, pushing up nicely, but above the 70 level, looking for a 75 extension. So your reversal alert on that one is just, well, that's actually miles away, isn't it? Quite difficult to get into that one at the moment, but yeah, so nice little double top happening potentially here at that peak from 3 weeks ago. So yeah, looks good for a short. Look for a pullback. It's either going to pull back and rally, or it's going to be part of a new leg down. And pound New Zealand. So pound New Zealand, again, same thing. Got the highs here, so that triple top. We've made a new low, and now new lows down there. Pulling back potentially for a new leg down. You can see we're in bearish structure at the moment. 24.72 area is lovely for a pullback if we are going to continue in a trend. All right, waiting list notification. What? 2 spaces came up then. Missed them both. That's how fast it goes at my gym. You heard that? Ping there. By the time I get to the phone, it's booked. Anyway. Yeah. Looking for a push down on the pound New Zealand. So good looking opportunity for a short there. Been quite orderly on the way up this one. So pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. Nice big strong pullback there. Bit of an accumulation push. So it's certainly due a push back down again. It's whether or not we're going to come up and retest those highs, which is 200 ADR. So if you do get into this one, because it's extended and take a short, that's just had a reverse alert, actually, by the looks of things. Yeah, just had a reversal alert there. There's your M pattern. So sellers are in control now. So if that is going to push down, obviously, that's fine. Bit difficult to target on the way down. Got to watch that area there. If that doesn't work out, second entry is going to be up there. Average will be there. And then you'll be looking for a pullback on that leg. So you've just had a reverse alert on that one. That's 136 pips. That's an ADR. So back down into this resistance here. So that's resistance, resistance, support. Yeah. So back down into that propulsion gap. That's an ADR. So you've got a whole ADR of movement to the downside. So pretty good amount of movement there. So there's your 4-hour RSI extensions. There's no hourlies to look at. We've looked at all the ADRs. Still pushing there. S&P stalled. Dow's not got a clue, is it? Look, straight up, straight down. I'm back to where I started. No idea. Dow's not going anywhere at the minute. Have a look at that in a bit. Morning, Meh. Morning, Meh. Outro. I'm using ORB. So is Darwin letting you get in all your trades in the US? Yep. You're watching Darwin X right here. Yeah, this is a quarter. So I'm using 0.25% risk. Yep. I have 700% margin free. Mind you, I've just shut that out. So trying not to look at my US dollar CAD. No, don't look at US dollar CAD. You've shut that, AZ. Hasn't really gone anywhere much today. If one 1-hour candle is making you a lot of money, you've got a lot of risk on there. Shouldn't really. Oh, waiting list. one class. It's like a little game we play. In regards to the mechanics of the SIH, I moved the first NASDAQ TP a little bit lower and it triggered. The SIH kept the two pending sell orders. Shouldn't TP2 be set to break even and pendings cancel? Yep, it should. Make sure you've got unique magic numbers on every chart. That's the logic. What it does. Quick question. Do you use footprint charts? No, that's to do with futures. Nothing to do with Forex or CFD trading. You're still doing spin to alleviate the trading adrenaline? Yep. I spin at least 5 times a week. I've noticed you have multiplier at 1.3 now for additional trades. Is that new? No. I've been doing that for 2.5 years. 3 years, actually. I've never used a standard multiplier. Always used a 1.3 forever. Go back and look at live rooms from 2 years ago. I've always used a 1.3 multiplier. Always. I also teach it in the bootcamp. Also, being at DOW and NASDAQ as well, the DJ orders did not trigger like at your side. I don't know what to say, guys. It's fine. It's all triggering fine, working fine. I don't have an answer for you. It's got to be something to do with your settings or your margin or something. I don't know. I am using 0.25% risk per equity. I don't know. I really don't know. I can only show you what I'm doing. And if I'm doing it and you're on the same broker using the same EA with the same settings, contact your broker. I don't know. I really don't know. It works fine. I've just tried running a test as I have no other open trades or orders in and changed the times solely on the US 30 to 245 and 250 and still nothing. No idea. Sorry. I can't answer the question because I can't. There is nothing wrong with it. I can't. If the trouble with anything to do with this, right, is if I can't replicate the problem, I can't fix it for you. It doesn't break for me. I've used the SIH EA now on 3 brokers, all using different decimals. Like Dow's got no decimals after it. That's got 1 decimal. On Robo Forex, it had 2 decimals after it. I've used it on 3 brokers, 5 instruments. It's not going wrong, and it just doesn't go wrong. I don't know. Every single time anybody has ever had a problem with any of my products, it is always the magic number is the same as something else, or they've got a setting wrong. I don't have anything else I can give you apart from that. You're watching me use the thing live on DOW and NASDAQ. This is the same thing as you've got. This is not a development version of the EA or anything. This is downloaded from the MQR5 marketplace. It's exactly what you're trading with. Those are my settings. If it doesn't trigger, I don't know. You just have to look at the journal and the experts tab. And if there's nothing in there, it could be data. The only other thing that people have problems with is data, which is why I asked if you've got ADR. If that ADR number is not filled in, it means that it hasn't got 10 days worth of data. Therefore, it cannot calculate ADR. The entire EA works on ADR calculation. If it hasn't got ADR, it hasn't got a calculation. It can't work. That's the only other thing I can think of. Other than that, really don't know. It's the bane of my life, people saying things don't work. I can't break it. If I can't break it, I can't fix it. This is the problem. And unfortunately, MT4 and MT5 have awful reporting for errors. They just don't report errors very well. It just gives you like standard error messages, like, I don't know, just standard error messages where you look them up and they go, it couldn't place the TP. Why? Don't know. It's a bit thick, basically. If it works in the strategy tester, it will work live. That's really the thing. If you can't get it working in the strategy tester, there's a problem. Dow maybe just filled a gap from 11 a.m. GMT. A gap? I can't see any gaps on the Dow. I think it could be an issue on Darwin's side. Could be, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Is the offset for orders 1 pip? For what? For Dow, I'm using 10. For NASDAQ, I'm using 40. For S&P, I'm using 10. I've tried doing tests, changing the magic numbers, and nothing in journal. I don't know. I really can't help with it because, as I say, it's nothing wrong with it. It works. Look at that. The only thing I shut out today early. Not one red candle in sight. Closed that way too soon. Preemptive of that, basically. 125 ADR now on the NASDAQ. Big move. So S&P is approaching 2R. Strong move going on the S&P as well. So watching ADR on that one. Up there. Thanks for the follow. Debasish. Welcome aboard. Right, so for FX, basically, I'm still sitting in everything. As I said this morning when I came on, I've been flip-flopping between 0.35 and 0.7 all day. So I can't close anything out at the moment. I could close out Euro-Yen for a little bit of profit, but it's not really worth it. It's not far enough for me. So I'm hoping that this reversal alert that we've had and this breakdown and retest is going to hold. And we're just going to get some bearish market structure now, some strength coming through on the yen. Euro CAD, we've just had an hourly RSI alert. So Euro CAD's just hit. It's only just hit the 70 level, though. And that is that double top. Yeah, so we're just rejecting that level again out of this propulsion gap. Not really a propulsion gap. It's more of that's a news event. But we are selling again from where we sold last time. So we'll see if we come back down and retest. So there's a good looking short opportunity there. Getting short. Reversal alert is probably just triggered on M5. Not quite. It's just about to trigger. There. So you're just about to get confirmation for a short entry. And if that doesn't hold up, you've got a potential resistance coming up at about 140 ADR. So you're looking at about half an ADR there, just under. So that's a little bit tight for an entry. You could take one there, but much better entry would be up there, which is an ADR away. So it's a bit of a tricky entry, this one. So that's a little bit too close, and that's a little bit too far away. Goldilocks zone is kind of pushing out of that high and rejecting. But yeah, good looking potential for a short on the Euro CAD. Again, Euro, no idea which way that's going. News-wise this week, we've got no news on the Euro this week at all. It's all US dollar this week. We've got Bailey talking on Wednesday, and then we've got pound GDP, which doesn't tend to do an awful lot on Friday. Apart from that, it's literally US dollar this week with the Aussie CPI. So there's no news, basically, that's going to drive this Euro in any direction, but the Canadian dollar will move with the US dollar. So if we get a load of bullish US dollar move news, we're going to get some bullish Canadian moves as well. So there is potential for a nice short from there. ADR hit, resistance, and it's just got extended on the RSI. So good pullback potential on that one. Oh my God, S&P. Just missed my TP. Just going to close out that. I just don't want to get hedged on the S&P. So just closed out first half of that. See if I can get a runner on the second half. But other than that, second half's going to break even. So that's going to lock in round about $70. I got 200 locked in there, and I've got a hedge on for 196. So guaranteed profit on the afternoon. This morning was $350 as well. So all done for today. But I will monitor the Dow if it goes anywhere. So if we can get an extension beyond ADR, I will look to get out of the Dow as well and see if we can get a profit on that one today as well. But so far, that's just locked in as a hedge. In regards to Darwin X, all numbers in my SIH info panel are exactly the same. Cool. So it should work. Obviously, when I'm trading in here with this account, I have absolutely no trades on at all when the market opens. So I have 100% of my margin available to me. If you've got a Darwin X account and you're trading and you've got any trades on already, your margin is going to be used. So obviously, just check there's no obviously running trades. Stupid thing, but it's the only other thing I can think of. You might be using Darwin. You're using Darwin X 0 in contrast to me using a real account. Yeah, well, that I've no idea what Darwin X 0 is. I don't know. Market rallying again. Look at this NASDAQ. That was a stupid closeout today, wasn't it? Got way too soon on that. Never mind. Hedging strategy. Working quite nicely at the moment. I've had to make some adjustments to the EA because I noticed some errors, specifically in lot sizing. It was taking trying to place wrong sized lots, so I've had to recode it, which means I had to take a loss of. It was only $50. Or was it that one? CAD-Gen. No, that was a drawdown control. That's right. Yeah, so I had to take a little loss of $46 because when I changed the code, it ran through and made some adjustments. But it's closed out 2.5% today. Still got 2 hedges running and 4 trades running absolutely fine. CAD-Gen's in a bit of drawdown. Oh yeah, that's the one that's done drawdown control, isn't it? So, so this is what I need to test. So as you can see, the hedge here, CADR on the CAD-Yen 98. That would be 5. Yeah, it's because I've restarted the EA. See, that should have really hedged again by now. It hasn't, which is why it's got a little bit more loss there. But it's doing automated drawdown control for me at the moment as well. So there's been a few trades on this, a few hedges on this already in the last 48 hours. So this one basically is a contender. So what I'm looking at is how far apart these hedges get, which is one of my criteria. So if we get 2 ADR apart, which will be down here somewhere, I will start to look at playing hedges with inside the hedge that gets created. This is the bit of the EA that is, I think, is very difficult to control when you're hedging, is an inside hedge. So that's, I'm kind of hoping this does push down and get this hedged, because when it gets out of that hedge with a profit, what I'm looking for is it to re-hedge itself, ideally down there. What I'd like to happen today would be this to collapse, get a break even on it, take a profit, and then collapse down and bounce off of that resistance, and then give me a hedge, because that would give me a massive hedge, which I can then work from the inside, which is part of the EA that I want to develop, but I think is very, very, very difficult to automate because it's 100% discretionary when you re-hedge. So this is part of my testing, is to see what, like, it's the same as I said, it's the same as position trading. If this is green and it goes down there, this is just going to build up a pot of cash. Anything that works is just going to build a pot of cash, which is great. This is what we're going to use to control our hedges. So this is a kind of jump in with both feet experiment, which is why it's on the demo account, to see, I want this to get into problems. I want it to get into trouble so that I can hedge out of it. So I'm kind of hoping it does go wrong. But I had a few problems with EA this morning, which I've fixed this morning. So it's all working fine now. But yeah, banking money, which is good. Taking a short on the euro yen, buy stops in place. Hedged on the euro US, short on pound Swiss. Just got out of the pound New Zealand this morning with a profit, which is part of that 2.4%. And New Zealand US in long, haven't hedged yet. $56. $26, perfect. Yeah, so it's working perfectly. Nice. So what will happen, hopefully, if we see this New Zealand US pushing up, we'll squeeze this hedge up with it. And then if it does hedge, we've got a very small hedge locked in, which we can use some of this profit then to pay that off. There's a plan forming here. It might seem chaotic at the moment, but there is a plan. I just needed to get into some trouble so I can execute my plan. That's the issue. Darwin X 0 is 1 to 10 leverage. Is it? If that's the case, yeah, you won't be able to trade the stock index hedge on it. You can't do anything with 1 to 10 leverage. Literally, you can take one trade. That's it. I can't even find any information. It's Darwin X 0, yeah. That's FX. Oh, indices. There we go. 5%. Oh, the other thing you might want to check as well, if you're trading on Darwin X 0, can you trade with micros? Oh, yeah, your minimum contract size. Yes, you can. That's right. Ignore me. Yeah, if the leverage is 1 to 10, you won't get any trades on. You can't, I mean, you can't trade with a 1 to 10 leverage. I mean, you can place one order with 0.25% risk, maybe 0.5% risk, if that's it. You won't get anything else on 1 to 10. I'm on 1 to 30 with Darwin X. And when I've got all three positions on, I have about 170% margin left. Literally, that is the maximum I can trade, 0.25. If I go above that, so 0.5%. So I've got a 20 grand account here, yeah? If I put 3 positions on with 1.5% risk, I have no margin left. Yeah, 1 to 30 leverage is super, super tiny. So if that is the case, you'll be stuck. Do you use Darwin X for indices and Robo Forex for Forex? Yeah. Why not all the same platform? I used to have everything running on Robo Forex. but I want to trade the FTSE. So basically, the reason I've switched over to Darwin X, which is my other broker, which I use for stock index, I use for a long-term stock index strategy, is I wanted access to the FTSE, and RoboForex don't have the FTSE. So other than that, there's no problem trading for it. If you don't want to, if you're happy not to trade the FTSE and you just want to trade the DAX and the US indices or anything else, I use RoboForex because you've got unlimited margin basically. I just wanted to, I want to try the FTSE. That's why I've switched this year. Other than that, I wouldn't. If I had the FTSE on RoboForex, I'd be trading on RoboForex. No, it's not anymore. A couple of weeks ago, they adjusted the leverage. Oh, right. Okay. It's not that. How can you be profitable, though, if you can't get trades on? Yeah, well, I can get trades on, can't I? Look, $200 made there, $122 made there. But don't forget, I'm now trading 5 instruments. So I'm reducing my risk. Otherwise, I'd be over leveraged. But yeah, you should be able to get one position on the Dow. I really don't know. I really don't know. Oh, you're talking to AZ, okay. DOW and NASDAQ isn't a broker; it's a funding thing where you guarantee you money as long as you're profitable. Yeah, I don't really get the DOW and NASDAQ model. I kind of get it. I know what they're trying to achieve, but it's not going to work. You might as well trade with a Darwin. You're better off trading with your own capital, basically. The capital allocation you will get from Darwin will take you longer than with a prop firm to achieve and cost you more, and it will be smaller. You're better off trading prop. Darwin X Zero is a really good concept for long-term investment traders, but it's not prop. It's a kind of a hybrid thing. Right, that's all I've got for you today, really. Still long on the S&P. I'm just going to lock a bit more profit in on that S&P. So just going to move my second target up to 1R. So I'm hoping that we're going to hold these highs and just carry on that rally up from there. TP2 is very high, 150 ADR. That's highly unlikely, isn't it? So I'm going to move that down to 125 ADR. So I'm looking at Thursday's high. I mean, to be honest, if we test Friday's high, we probably find we get some limits trigger there as well. Same as we did here. We got limit orders trigger, but the buyers rallied through. Now the NASDAQ's exhausted. I think we'll find it pretty difficult to get any decent run on the S&P. So, but I'll go for Thursday's high as a target to the upside. That's going to trail anyway. So that's locked in, and we'll trail at 2R. See what we can get out of that. Dow Hedge, looking for a push beyond ADR before I attempt to get out of that. The other option you've got on the Dow is to try and get out off of a triple bottom bounce. So we've got this low from Friday, which we've tested twice now. So if it comes back down and retests this level again, it may well get a bounce. But the fact that it's tested it, if it hits it again, 4th time it's testing it, it's probably going to break it, isn't it? So I would be more happy trying an exit at the lows down there. But I've banked well this morning, so whatever I get out of this session, which at the moment is looking like about $150 or something, is me done, really. I'm not that worried about this hedge. I'd rather just take that on the chin today. than try and get clever and get myself into trouble. Also, with the missed Dow, my offset 40, yours is 10. I made $563 on Darwin X0 with the SIH. Good. Cool. Right, I'm going to leave it there today. So I'll let those run. There's nothing else to look at on FX because it's just it's these ADRs basically. It's mainly all about the euro today. There's very little movement on anything else. We've had a little bit of movement, but not a lot. So we're waiting for some moves basically so we can get some extensions. So close on the euro CAD. If this pushes any further today, and we do start to come up and retest the previous week's high, I'll be going short on the euro CAD. So if we can get an extension above the 75 level on the euro CAD, I will be shorting that, or rather the EA will be shorting it. So yeah, looking for a push up into there really. If we can get there today, there's a good chance I might get a trade on that in the next sort of 2 to 3 hours. So it's looking like it's trying very hard to push long, doesn't it? So we might get a move on that. But other than that, there's not really a lot else I don't think is going to get extended today. The only other thing is the Aussie dollar Swiss. We've just broken out the lows on that, which looks like it's just closed back above the low. So that is extended now down below it's getting towards the 30 level. So if this sells off any further today, there is a chance that this might get extended and we'll get a pop off of that as well. So I'm waiting for that to get pushed down, Aussie dollar Swiss, and obviously the EA will just get me into that. Bear in mind, we've got news on the Aussie dollar coming up on Wednesday morning. If we can get a good push down on that Aussie dollar, we might well get a reaction off of that on Wednesday. So it'd be nice to get into some Aussie dollar exposure before Wednesday. And then we've got the chance, obviously, of the news pushing against, taking a second position and getting out, or the news going our way and literally just getting out of it anyway. So there you go. So that's what I've got today. Nothing much else to look at. So I will be back tomorrow, same time, 7:50 for the Frankfurt session and 2:20 for New York. NASDAQ's pushing again. We're going to get 5R out of that. Look at it. Crazy beast today. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, same time as usual. We'll have a look at FX, see if we've got any setups, and obviously trade the stock index hedge with the open as usual. All right. Have a good day. Anything you need, I'll be in Telegram. Other than that, I will be back tomorrow. So have a good day.